Hello viewer, welcome to Changing the Narrative with Dr. Lupe. Today we are changing a very different narrative altogether, and this is navigating and driving post-payslip. For those people who are employed or have been employed, employment is a means of security. Your salary is assured at the end of the month. Possibly you are in an office which is paying for your medical, transport, house allowance, leave allowance, and all those expenses. Possibly you've just been newly promoted and there you are leaving your place of work. It may be retirement or exit in one form or the other. Sometimes and quite often, any form of exit, retirement is not an easy thing. Separation is not an easy thing. Leaving that payslip, leaving that comfort, and a number of times we have a lot of fear of the unknown. Where am I going? I've been working here for the last 10, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. I don't know any other life other than this life of an employee. That can cause a lot of turmoil, can cause a lot of stress to many people. But today we are changing the narrative, and we are changing the narrative to inform all of us that you can thrive post-payslip. And we are going to share experiences of people who are thriving post-payslip, thriving without the payslip, post-payslip. What are these people doing? Work with me. We are going to visit a farmer, a former very senior public servant who exited at the level of a director, a senior director actually, and he has settled very well post-payslip. We are sharing these experiences so that we can encourage one another, so that we can change the story, that we can drive in whatever situations we find ourselves. Mr. Chawara,
yes.
You have done so much.
Yes, Daktari.
How are you?
Welcome to my farm.
Yes.
In Congo.
Yes.
This place is called Mamuru.
Mamuru.
After I went on retire,
Yes.
I found the best thing I can do.
Yes.
Is this kind of activity.
Yes.
Farming.
Yes. We are now here at the onion planting section, and at the far end there you can see what they are using. That is the gadget they are using to create the holes. Can you see what the gentleman there is doing?
This part of the samba
Yes.
where we are doing onions, and actually I've realized onions is one of the way of making good money when you are doing this kind of farming. It requires some capital.
Yes.
But once you put the infrastructure on the ground, the infrastructure will serve you for about 2-3 more years. And by that time, you will have recovered whatever you have invested.
Yes.
But when you plant this one,
Yes.
all the seedlings, they are a bit expensive.
Yes.
For starters.
Yes.
Because a kg of seedlings
Yes.
goes for around 40,000. That kg can from the nursery to the shamba.
Yes.
It will take around 40 days. Like these ones we are planting today. Actually, today is the 44th day.
From the seedling, from the seed.
Yeah, from the seed. The seed in the nursery.
Yes.
Today is when we are transplanting.
Yes.
After about 40 to 45 days. Yeah. Then after this, of course, there is a lot of care, spraying, neem, because of the disease and so forth. But for me, now, once you do this, it will take you around 2.5 months, 3 months, then you harvest.
Then you have spoken about some you putting infrastructure in place.
Yeah.
What kind of infrastructure does one need to become an onion farmer?
To start with, you must have land.
Yes.
Then number 2, you must have adequate water.
Yes.
Enough water.
Yes.
Because onions, they require a lot of water.
Yes.
Then you must have a system of distributing that, the networking of that, distributing that water in the chamber.
Yes.
So you can see we have the main pipes.
Yes.
Like this one, 2.5-inch pipe.
Yes.
From the well, from the borehole.
Yes.
The chamber, then the chamber you do distribution using the hose pipes.
Yes.
It's called rain hose irrigation. This is a tool for making onion hose when you are planting. From the nursery, you create the hose using this tool. Then once you create the hose, you come and put your onions on those holes. We have the nursery here. We have done about 2 kgs, which we estimate maybe to plant in 1 acre. Yeah. Today we are transplanting from the nursery to the chamber. An exercise which will take about 3 or 4 days with a labor force of about 20 people.
Viewer, you can see this kind of investment. All this is irrigation. This is irrigation. And you can see the kind of workforce that is involved in doing this kind of work. And remember, this is an officer, a very senior government officer, who left office a few years ago, about 2 years ago, and he has managed to establish himself this far as an angry entrepreneur.
This is rain hose irrigation. We have borehole. There is also a well, which both are harvesting enough. We are getting enough water from those 2 sources. Yeah, you can see we have a pipe of 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. Sorry, we have enough solar energy to propel that pump of 3-phase. Yeah, 3-phase pump. Yeah. See now my team is going back to the chamber after enjoying their lunch.
Yes, I can see that you have a big team.
Big team.
Here you can see how people are driving without the payslip. Watu wamejituma kikazi.
It's just a fashion.
It's passion.
It's a fashion, yeah.
But you are doing with a lot of expertise.
Actually, I've under interest of farming from when I was very young.
Okay.
Yes, even by the way, even when I was working,
Yes.
I was also doing some farming, kama side hustle. Imagine
Yes.
these bananas,
Yes.
I planted them in February this year.
February of 2025.
Yes, they are only 4. All the way from Nairobi.
Yes.
Take them, their brokers who come and take them to Nairobi.
So
we have no problem of marketing.
yeah. That is awesome. Like how many plants do you have?
About 300.
300.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that you have them at different stages. There are those that are young, and there are those that are ready for harvest.
Yeah.
And it is great. Now we want to move to a different section of the farm, because I can see viewer, this farm has literally everything from fruits, okra, name it. This Payslip experience is just amazing. I'm surprised. These are avocados as well. You can see the hash avocado. There is also dragon fruit. Wow. There's dragon fruit. You can count how many? I think it's a whole orchard. It's amazing. This is the team that accompanied me. We can take the viewer to a different portion of the shamba so that they can see what you are doing. Please, you realize that retirement is not an easy thing, especially for senior officers like you. You come from an office where you had all the privileges, access to power, to company vehicle, airtime, entertainment allowance, per diems, and a lot of other privileges. Was it easy to leave them?
It was not easy. Actually, to adjust from those kind of privileges when you get out of the office, it is not easy. But with the time, you get used to it. You get used to the new environment. And that new environment, as I was telling you before, when you adjust yourself and you create some activities for you, of course, you will be managing your life now and your time. When you see an employer manages your time from 8 to whatever time in the evening, to around 5 in the evening. But now when you are free, it is you to manage that time on your own. And let me tell you, see, from when the day you are born up to the age 60, someone has been managing your time. When you are a baby, your mom, your parents were managing your time. When you're in high school, teachers were managing your time. When you started working, the employer started managing your time. Now, after 60, no one is there to manage your time. It is you now to know how to manage that time. And the way to manage that time is to create activities for yourself. And if you don't do that, my friend, you'll die very quickly. But when you have those basic dues, you know what time to wake up. Maybe you know that in them unaenda kwa shamba hii, you have activities kwa shamba ya banana, shamba ya mahindi. That way you give yourself busy and you don't even know how the day ends.
Viewers, we are walking now. We are walking with Mr. Kyogora. We are in his farm.
Yeah.
And you can see at the back,
Yes.
where you have come from.
Yeah.
You can see a lot of stuff there. Okay. We are walking through his massive.
This is a shamba.
This is a
This is a
shamba.
shamba, big one.
A big one. This is okra. This is okra. And you can see there's ready market. They are sorting out the best breed. A lot of it has been harvested. You can see all the product is picked from the shamba. My first time to see okra. This is how okra looks like. These are 3 to 4 acres of okra. You can take us to a different section of the farm. Yeah. And I think now we have arrived at the orchard. I think we can stop at this orchard so that the viewer can see. This is an orchard with various fruits, peaches, oranges, all manner of citrus fruits. These Romano greens. I've seen several fruits. This is watermelon, sprinkling watermelon. It's extensive. This is extensive, beautiful. What are some of the challenges that you encountered even before you started doing this kind of activity? I'll come to that, the challenges you experience as an angry farmer, an angry business person. But now, even when you left the work immediately, what were some of your fears? What were some of the challenges? Like, what was it? The first few months, even the fears that you had.
Okay, I hear people, they have fears, but myself, I was prepared for this. Because the last 3 years of my office, my before I went to retire, I was, most of the time I was doing my this private affairs. Every Friday, I could travel from Nairobi to Meru to make sure ABCD is being done in my shamba. So that at least, because I knew one day I will retire and go live in Nairobi and go to my shamba in Meru. So it was, I didn't have that much fear, but I was not very sure how the activities I was to undertake, how they will go on. That is the only fear I had.
Thank you, and that is very awesome, especially that you started preparing 3 years in advance, but even then there was the uncertainty. Now, what would you advise this person who is still working, and maybe they have about 5, even 10 years to live, or even those who are exiting today? What advice would you give to people who are about to experience post-payslip?
Let me tell you,
and especially now we realize you don't even have to be 60. People are even being retrenched, even when they are in their early 30s.
When a year before I retired, you were taken for retired training.
Yes.
I was asking those people who are coordinating, surely, how can you take someone for retired training when someone has got only 1 year to go? So I was telling them to advise others. Maybe started even from the day one starts working. You start preparing from there, so that at least by the time you are 60, you have known where to go, not to start when you are 1 year, when you are about to go. So me I started quite early. Actually, I can tell you, before my actual retire at 60, I had retired initially when I was at age 52. Is when I took my first retire from the employer I had. Then I went to another employer on contract. And at that 52, and started putting down some structures which I knew I would take over from there. Actually, that is when now I started the Sahara Resort. Sahara Resort is when it started. From there, then it developed pole. So by the time I was retiring at 60, it was really under my shambas. They were in the way you have seen them.
So I'm getting a lot of insights from what you are saying, Cyrus, that we start preparing early. You are also imploring the employers to start preparing their people for retirement from the time they get to work. And even that employee should know that one day they are going to exit.
If you are to help them, actually let them start training them very early.
Very nice. Yeah. Now, tell us...
I remember some of the guys we retired with.
Yes.
Actually, it is as if they didn't know even where they were going when we were retiring. Yeah.
Most of us do not know where we are going, and you can understand.
Yeah, and because you see, when you are there, you are used to the per diem, the salary, and these other allowances. And immediately you retire, all those things, they are not there. Maybe what you get as a retirement salary is around maybe a round of your salary or something like that, which cannot take you far. Because there are issues to manage, which the employer was managing for you, like the insurances and so forth. When you retire, it is you and you alone. You must know how to take care of your errors and so forth. So it is not easy. It is not easy, but those who are about to retire, let them think widely. Let them know life there, things are not very easy.
Thank you very much, Cyrus. Please, introduce yourself to the viewer and where they can find your services, and especially today we are dealing with the farm product, how they can access the products that, because you have bananas, you have okra, you have various fruits, sorts of fruits, and you also have onions. Viewer, don't worry about the noise at the background. These are some of the fruits of thriving post Payslip.
Why are you forgetting? I also farm dragon fruit.
And then there is also dragon fruit. Please, and we forgot to conduct some interview at the dragon fruit garden, but fortunately we took the pictures of the same.
Yes.
So please tell the viewer where they can find you and where they can find these products, because they are all for the market. They are for the market.
Now, my samba is located in Meru, a place called Mitungu, at Mitungu, in a place called Mamuru. That is where the land is straightened. That is where we will get me most of the time when I'm around these areas, from morning to evening with my team. I have about four employees in the shamba, and of course occasionally I do engage casual laborers when we have a lot of work to do. But mostly I have around only 4 permanent employees, whom I can say they are permanent to some extent. Whatever we produce here, it is taken to the market, some to our local market here in Mitungu. Other produce are taken by those people buying direct from the Samba to Nairobi. If you go to Fig Tree and even some of the supermarkets in Nairobi, some of the products you find there, they are from these Sambas of ours.
Thank you very much. So if you are broke out there and you would wish to get Mr. Mburugo's products, you know where to get them. He has given the name of the farm. Yeah. Thank you very, very much, Cyrus. This is awesome. And I do really hope that most of us who are retiring will have this seamless transition.
Thank you, Ruth. Visit again and again. I'm happy to see you around. And of course, the good work you are doing to visit people like us who are retired. At least we are making us to speak English, because we are almost forgetting. We used to speak English in the offices.
We are changing the narrative. Thank you, Cyrus. We are changing the narrative. This is Changing the Narrative with Dr. Ruthie. And today we have had discussions with Cyrus, and he is thriving. And we want to say you can thrive. You can thrive outside the Payslip. Viewer, I hope in our video today you have learned something that you can thrive post Payslip. Prepare in advance, 3 to 4 years before. Even for those of us who have not yet prepared or are not prepared in any way, there is always some beginning. You'll find you are bearing. We will bring you more episodes of this nature, tracking post-Payslipers wherever they are. Thank you.